Ben Shapiro and Megyn Kelly just roast the leftist media for attempting to make Kamala Harris seem cool. Let's get right into it.
And I'll just kick it off with the Wall Street Journal today. The headline this morning, the other morning, Harris erases Trump's lead. Wall Street Journal poll finds, talks about how they are now 2 points away from one another. He's 49, she's 47 within the margin of error. When he was facing Biden, he had a 6-point lead just earlier this month. And she is making up ground with Blacks, Latinos, and young voters. In particular, they're looking at battleground states like Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina, the Sun Belt states, which are more racially and ethnically diverse. And going on as follows. This is a stat I want to give you. Only 37% of Biden voters were enthusiastic about him in early July. 81% of Harris voters are enthusiastic about her, says one of the pollsters. One was a Dem, one was a Republican. This is an astounding change. And Ben, is it any wonder given what we've seen in the last 8 days?
Not at all. I mean, I think there's a combination of factors. As you mentioned, the media are trying to convince themselves that they are in love with Kamala Harris after years of recognizing what a political incompetent and buffoon she is. But I think what this really is just the sugar high of Joe Biden being out of the race. No matter who was going to succeed Joe Biden being gone is giving them a temporary feeling of euphoria that I think could wear off before the election. The problem, of course, is that this is now an incredibly compressed election cycle. There's about 100 days from here until the election. So the question is, can they pull off the magic trick for the next 3 months, or is this varnish going to start to wear fairly quickly? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of damaging material on Kamala Harris. She's not very good at politics. And these national campaigns tend to strip the veneer off people fairly quickly. I mean, how many national candidates have we seen over the course of our lifetimes, where you watch them and at the beginning, they're brand shiny new. And within about a month and a half, they're not wearing particularly well. Kamala Harris does not wear well, but at the same time, if she never faces a single difficult question, if she never has to do an interview where she's asked about her border policy, if she can simply continue doing what she's been doing the last week, that's a very uphill battle for Republicans.
They are now trying to make it into, it really, she'd put herself out there to anybody. I'm sure she'd be happy to sit for an interview with me, with you. But what she'd really like to do, Ben, is debate. But Donald Trump is too scared. That is the narrative dominating the contest between the two of them.
Which is so ridiculous.
Judge out there saying, can you believe, has it ever happened that a candidate has agreed to a debate and then withdrawn from the debate? Because Trump agreed to this ABC debate with President Joe Biden, who is no longer running, and she thinks she should get exactly the same terms and same agreement as Biden got. Well, guess what? She's not getting it.
Yeah, I mean, that's an absurdity. And it's ridiculous that they're trying to literally do a bait and switch here. I mean, it's a different candidate. Saying that you agreed to a debate with Joe Biden under certain conditions, anytime, anywhere, is not the same thing as saying that you agreed to debate Kamala Harris anytime, anywhere. And again, I think this is going to be a tempest in a teapot. They will work out terms of a debate. I would certainly hope that George Stephanopoulos is not the moderator of that debate. God. But again, right now, the amount of momentum that Harris has, it's hard to tell how much of it is sort of airsats and just, again, inflating the balloon. And
I really do think that a lot of it is, like Ben said, inflating the balloon. They're trying to make her seem super popular, as if there's so much energy behind her. But the reality is in 2020, Kamala did awful during her primaries. People did not like her. She's very unlikable. Like, Cackle Harris, come on.
How much of it is real? What is certainly true is that the lack of enthusiasm that was attendant on Biden's candidacy immediately upon his debate, all of that has dissipated. And let's be real about this. It's not as though Kamala has jumped to a 5-point lead. Kamala is still basically dead even with Trump. A lot of these states that he was getting blown away in Biden are now a lot closer, like Michigan or like Georgia. But the race basically reverted to the pre-debate state. It didn't revert to Joe Biden versus Donald Trump 2020. It reverted to like February. And in February, Kamala Harris was running like a point or two behind Trump, and she's still running a point or two behind Trump. I do think that the next 3 weeks in momentum are going to be very strong for Kamala Harris. She's going to pick some sort of VP candidate. It will either be Josh Shapiro or Mark Kelly or Gretchen Whitmer, somebody who is from a swing state. I think she'd be well advised to do that. And then she's going to have the convention. So you would expect her to get a little bit of a bump over the next 3 weeks. And then we'll see if they can make fetch happen by continuing to pretend that Kamala Harris is actually really good at this.
Yeah, well, they're doing their level best. I mean, you tune in to any channel right now other than Fox, And you will see, I mean, not only are they giddy, but the reinvention of this woman as truly a Jesus-like figure is kind of stomach turning. Here's just a sampling of what we've been seeing.
We spent 3 weeks sitting outside the ICU with a death watch for democracy. One little heartbeat of hope. Kamala Harris raising her hand and saying, I'll take care of this.
That is the type of grassroots mobilization and engagement that does remind me of Barack Obama.
Recognize what Vice President Kamala Harris has been able to accomplish in less than 1 week. A thunderous crescendo rumbling its way across every corner of American political and civic and cultural life. The crown jewel of endorsements for any Democrat. President Barack Obama officially endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris.
They're so excited. They're just so excited. They're so energized. It's historic.
Just walking through the streets, every other conversation on the street was, who should be her running mate? The excitement is palpable.
There was a twinkle in her eye. And I got chills when she said,
Oh, God.
Donald Trump, I know your type. I was blown away. I was like, I kind of fell in love with her.
Why? Because she's used to this type. Like, what?
I just thought it was a great, great opening act.
Ben.
I can't.
I'm literally going to be sick.
Twinkle.
I can't. I just, I can't. I'm sorry. Kamala Harris is the crazy laugh lady. She's the smug smiling lady. She's the queen of smarm. She's like, what are we doing here? Yeah, the attempt to again turn her into Barack Obama circa 2008. The truth is, her campaign is a lot more like Barack Obama circa 2012, meaning she's got a very unpopular set of policies behind her. She's running an incredibly intersectional campaign. You've already seen her bringing forth her campaign as like white dudes for Kamala, white women for Kamala, a very weird way to do your campaign. And again, she hasn't faced a single difficult question since she ascended to the throne here in a non-democratic coup by the Democratic Party. So yeah, again, this will be her high point. And I'm having a hard time really telling whether this is enthusiasm for Kamala or whether this is just, thank God we got rid of the old man. I mean, it's unprecedented. They did get rid of the old man. They got rid of the corpse. And now they have, a lukewarm body in there as opposed to, the moldering corpse of the president of the United States. She, so far, has basically given some campaign speeches in friendly scenarios. She's not done a single national interview. Again, I just think that the varnish can't continue this way. This sort of course they're excited. Why wouldn't they be excited? They just went from a 0% chance to win the presidency to a 50% chance to win the presidency. And so they are doing the same thing that every baseball fan does the first day of the season. Like, oh my God, my team could win the World Series. Well, maybe, and then maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, I really do think, like Ben was saying, this is Kamala's highest point because it's down from here as more people are going to be researching her, digging up scandals, exposing her. And maybe more people are reminded, hey, remember that we don't like her? Yeah, remember how unlikable she is? She literally does not say anything smart. She says a whole lot of nothing all the time. Yeah, she's like a college student trying to write a paper just to get to a word count by saying nothing, by just repeating them herself. You guys know what I'm talking about. But hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you next time. Bye.